Smith 98.1 here. We are gone past 6:30 and time for Business Express on Smooth Breakfast. I'm Sope Martins, and for the next 15 minutes, I'll be talking with Rotus as we talk about teachers in the UK and Ghana's inflation rates and what the president had to say. Good morning, Rotus. How you doing?
Fine, thank you. Good morning, Sope. Good morning to all our viewers, listeners out there. Great to be with you all again.
And it's going to be an interesting conversation. So make sure you join us. We are up on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos, streaming live right now. Join us in the live chat. Send your WhatsApp messages to 0809 440 981 and use the hashtag BusinessExpress981 up on Twitter to get your thoughts in. We are at Smooth981FM on Twitter as well. So make sure you tag us in your tweets. All right. So Rotus, first things first. So let's talk about this. I had reservations when I saw this, and I still have reservations when I think about it. And that's this idea of the United Kingdom opening the door for Nigerian teachers to come in and so what has been going on? Nigeria has now been listed among the African countries whose citizens can now apply for qualified teacher status through the Teaching Regulatory Agency in the UK. This is happening from February next year. What does this mean? Because all I'm hearing is brain drain when it comes to our teachers.
Yeah, so we're amongst 8 other countries, so 9 in total. I think
I know Singapore was there.
Yeah. Hong Kong, Singapore, India, Ghana, Jamaica, South Africa, Ukraine, and Zimbabwe. So, and the thing interesting is you don't even, they said you don't even need to have a teaching qualifications. You just need to have, I think, a bachelor's degree in order to qualify, either from a UK or non-UK university. So, it's, I look, I don't know if there's a teacher Twitter, but, there's finance Twitter, movie Twitter, book Twitter, and all these other things.
Oh, there's definitely a teacher Twitter.
Yeah, there are some people who are pretty excited about that. And brain drain did come up, but Sope, the chance for someone to be able to head over overseas, especially to the UK, where the pound sterling is a pretty strong currency that will be paying a salary to teach. And you can even as long as you have a bachelor's degree, you can go through a program where they will even train you in order to be part of this. I think you already mentioned it's a qualified teacher program that they have. Yeah. So look, we've said that opportunities. Well, before we even get to opportunities, how have teachers been treated in Nigeria? First of all, that's the one you need to just back up and review first, from ASU to the normal state of salaries for teachers, especially in the public sector. That's one. 2, we've talked about the whole jackpot phenomenon. That's been a theme of discussion this year. But at least there are some people who just left and they didn't even know what they were looking for. They're just going to go find anything. I've always advised anybody who wants to leave, make sure you have a job waiting for you wherever it is that you are going. So this is something that's already said. 3, remittances. Even though people are leaving, wherever Nigerians leave, they send money back home. So there's that to look at as well. So, for teachers, I'm especially happy for them, especially with this opportunity that
Rotus, yes, for teachers, you're especially happy for them.
That the UK has put out, because it's skilled labor.
Okay, so Rotus, one thing that I would talk about is this issue of, it's great to be happy for the teachers, yes, but let's look at our economy, and the fact that our economy is what we're looking at, let's say 5 years, 10 years down the line. The future of the economy, let me not put it in numbers because it's not 5 years, but the future of the economy, doesn't that rest in the hands of the teachers? Doesn't that rest in the hands of the education system? So if we've got our teachers and we're like I've just predicted from this now, we're going to get this is going to be a talking point in this time next year. We're going to be talking about the teacher brain drain that's happening and is affecting the economy. But isn't the economy predicated on the education sector?
It is. And I mean, it's the same thing with doctors, right? The medical sector where you've had, what's the doctor-patient ratio in Nigeria? It's pretty low because you've had a number of doctors.
I think according to
5,000
the
to 1.
WHO is like 1,000, 1 to 6,000. But according to the Nigerian Medical Association, it is 1 to 10,000 now because they worked out the numbers of qualified doctors.
People say don't fall sick in Nigeria because there might not be a doctor to attend to you. So try and stay as healthy as possible because of that issue. But then look at the same situation. How well are doctors treated in Nigeria? How many strikes have we been through? How well are they being paid? There's even a nurse. I think there's a nurse opportunity now. I think for Nigeria. Yeah, in the UK.
Rotus, okay, there's opportunity because right now the UK is dealing with with the dearth of nurses. We've seen their doctor pool being filled by Nigerian and other African countries. But now when it comes to teachers, they've got a teaching crisis. They've got a teacher crisis going on. And hence why they have relaxed their rules and their requirements so that they can bring in these teachers. Are we not funding the UK? Are we not funding the UK's? I don't even know what to call it. But at this point, it feels like we're just channeling all our resources into the UK.
Yeah, so Sope, if things were better for teachers in Nigeria, they wouldn't leave, right? They would stay here. The pay would have been good enough. The job opportunities. What is our unemployment rate? We still don't have unemployment numbers. I've been seeing this thing now for 2 years, in fact, going on 3 years now as we enter 2023. We'll have unemployment data that is 3 years old. You've had the COVID pandemic. You've had, more people falling into poverty, more people losing jobs. So any chance that one is going to get, I'm glad that you are taking the other side of this and you are looking at the impact on those here. But me, I'm on the other side. I'm happy for them. My own is just any opportunity you can find, just, go get it. But there will be consequences, of course. And that is why you're seeing what is the number for how much we spent on education as well in dollar terms with respect to people sending their children overseas. The Nigerians are voting with their feet, right? They're those that can afford it are sending their children overseas to go and school there. So it's there. This is going to open up. It depends on the cap. I know they can't take everybody they get. There'll probably be a quota with the amount of teachers that can come from here, along with the other 8 countries from Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, and so on. But
well, I have to just talk about and question what is going to happen to our economy.
The Ministry of Education.
There you are. Okay, you were saying.
I was sorry about that. I was saying that if you are the Ministry of Education, this is a reason for you to.
Seems like we have some technical issues. All right, so what we're going to do is see if Rotus can come back in and give me 1 second to do that. But yes, and this also feeds back to things that we're going to look at to talk about when it comes to a brain drain in the tech sector as well, so that we can fix things like this. All right, Rotus, there you are. Let's try again. So you were saying Ministry of Education.
The Ministry of Education needs to step up. Just step up and make things easier for teachers here in Nigeria. So, because labor is a commodity, there's competition for labor, and the competition is for wages. Wages are how you compensate and compete for labor. So that's the way.
I'm loving this argument. Labor is a commodity, and so it gets to the point. And this is a question I want to really get your in-depth opinion on. If by the point at which we realize that, okay, labor is a commodity and we're going to have to start bidding higher for it, do you think we will have gone past the crisis point and there will be a point of no return, or is there always hope?
One has to be optimistic, but yeah, there's a risk that you get past the point of no return and then
All right, let me take this one in.
You're now facing a dearth that cannot afford.
Rotus, looks like we have a slight technical issue. You were saying that there's a risk that we get past the point of no return, and that's where we left off.
Yes, just to answer you quickly, yes, there's a chance. So that means that there's onus on the government to also improve conditions here for teachers. Yes.
All right, let me take a couple of messages. This one in from Ogene Ochuku, who says, among the profession that enhances human development, the teachers are the worst in terms of remuneration. Just imagine a BSc graduate earning less than the minimum wage. I can't imagine that, Ogene Ochuku, and yet I'm forced to. That is the state of what we have going on with our teachers. Otunuga says, Jobberman conducted research on youth unemployment. The results, which was released last week, put the figure at 65%. Oh. And Jonah from Isola says, until Nigeria gets its act together, it will continue to be a talent field for other countries. Wow, Jonah, you just put it in there, right there in stark black and white for me to read. Okay, so Rotus, shall we move on to our next topic? We've got a couple of minutes. Let's see what's going on with Ghana's economy. President Nana Akufo-Addo talked about African countries needing to band together and we need to see more trade between African countries, because if we're looking to beg, that was his word, we can't go begging to other countries, to Western countries, and we need to focus on building Africa up. But this is as we've looked at the Ghanaian economy going through some pretty shaky times, and now their inflation has hit 50%. Oh, Rotus, you're muted.
Inflation was 13% in January, and now it is 50. The Russia-Ukraine war has had a really, really terrible. Can you hear? I hope you can hear me clearly.
Loud and clear.
Okay, great. Look, 50% inflation is mind-boggling. But I brought that up because Nigeria hasn't reconstituted her inflation basket since 2009. So the 21% inflation you're seeing, Chokwe, could actually be higher. Every 5 years, it's supposed to change the baskets that you use to measure inflation. So if you've got rice and other items rising by 100%, and yet your inflation is 20%, you might need to reconstitute that basket. And you might need to update exactly what it really is on ground in Nigeria.
All right. And Gilbert Musa from Festac. Oh, yes, loud and clear. Gilbert Musa from Festac says, on the opportunity given to teachers in the UK, Nigeria as a country has not considered the education sector a top priority since 1980, during Shagari's era, when education got the lion's share of federal allocation in the 1980 and 81 budgets. In 1995, teachers nationwide complained bitterly of neglect under Abacha's regime. And Austin from Satellite says, teachers to apply for UK visas, that's not a good omen. They started with the doctors, technicians, now teachers. The UK knows what they're doing. Fear them, says Austin. And by the way, Rotus, part of the issue with the, no, but it's, you know, at this point we should be in a, I don't want to put fear in the mix, but I'm starting to feel that, because part of the issue with the medical sector and with the loss of our medical professionals is the fact that we're losing senior consultants, and with that comes experience. And remember that they're the ones who train the upcoming doctors. So we are not just losing the talent, we're losing the future of that talent.
Right.
And now that's the same thing that we're going to see with our teachers.
So what, as a government, what do you do? That is the question. Will we see any moves? Do we hear any announcements on the government over the next 30 days, 60 days? What do they do? That's where is the key. Or they just keep quiet and shrug their shoulders. I remember Christine Ngige said it was good that doctors were leaving because they'll send money back home or something like that. So
yes, Dr. Chris Ngige, thank you for that. I just had to put that doctor in there. All right, Rotus, we've come to the end of Business Express for today, but don't you worry, tomorrow is another day, and tomorrow especially is a Tech Friday edition of Business Express. Make sure you find Rotus. He's up on Twitter, on Instagram, on social media, really, at Rotancode. All right. Thank you, Rotus. Have a wonderful day.